Hi guys. Okay, so we're going to continue on. So now we've done one note per click starting with a downstroke. Really what we should do is one note per click starting with an upstroke, which is going to feel completely different. I'm not going to do that now because it'll take about 10 minutes. So what I'd like you to do is one, the warm-ups, the stretching, the hands in the water or hands on the radiator, and just stretch out a bit, stretch those muscles out in your fingers, in between your fingers and your wrists, and your shoulders a bit, and just kind of like feel a bit loose, you know. Rub your hands together, do a bit of this, just kind of get a little bit loose. Practice the four sequences just off one fret, either on the fifth fret or the seventh fret, kind of in the middle of the guitar. Just practice each four just to kind of get used to that. Then do what we've just done. Number one, from the 12th fret all the way down to the first fret and all the way back to the 12th fret. At this tempo, and just try to have a bit of concentration. Try to get into it, although it is quite boring. Try to just get into the zone and just feel the click and try to get inside of the click and try to be as accurate as possible on every click and each hit. You know, maybe try to accent, you know, every time you cross a string, or just try to, you know what I mean, make it interesting as what you can with your mind, or just kind of relax into it like a meditation and just try to just play into it, you know, and just kind of feel that, you know, the space between each click, and just try to just, you know, then do the whole thing starting with an upstroke, and then when we get down to the next fret, up. Every time we do a change, it's going to be an up, so there's going to be two ups in a row every time you move, then the whole thing again. Okay, that is a very good warm up within itself, just doing that with a click and just kind of feeling the click. Okay, now we're going to do two notes starting with a downstroke, same thing, right? So our left hand is going to do exactly the same. It's the right hand now that's going to be doing double of what it was doing before. Start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this time you can see I'm sitting in such a way that I'm tapping my foot. If you can, if you're sitting down, tap your foot, or kind of nod your head and accent one. So you're going to be counting in your head. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. You're going to accent all the ones. It's important now that we're doing more than one note to start counting in your head. Just say it to yourself. And this time when you shift, you're doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's just, it's it's going to be a flow of constant down, ups, down, ups, down, ups every time you play a note. So there's no need to be conscious of that shift now. Just follow strict alternate picking all of the time, yeah? So now from the 11th fret. 3, 4. we're halfway through, a couple of things I just want you to observe. As you're kind of gradually moving down fret by fret, it's stretching your fingers out gradually. So as you get to about the 5th, 4th and the 3rd fret, you probably start to feel a bit of tension in your forearm, in your wrist, and actually in your shoulder a little bit. So what we want to try and do is, again, because it's at a slow tempo, try to just relax. Try just as you're playing to just release the tension that you feel anywhere you feel it, in your shoulders, in your wrist, in your elbow, in your fingers, in your forearm. Just say to yourself and just try to relax as you're playing and just let that tension just like disappear, you know. And what you'll find is as you gradually work down, you'll feel tension build, and then as you work back up, you'll feel the tension release again. Okay, so we're building tension, and then we're not just leaving it there built up. We're actually releasing it, building it, releasing it, building it, releasing it. Okay. So let's start from the 2nd fret. Okay, that's the second sequence. Now you'll actually find as well as you're doing it, you probably feel like most people anyway will probably feel like they're getting ahead of the beat and you might go out of sync a little bit and then have to stop and kind of resync yourself with the beat. Obviously, a lot of musicians, but especially guitar players, have a tendency to speed up or slow down after a while when your mind starts to wander. So, although this can seem quite boring, actually, it's quite a challenge to do it consistently without stopping, keeping in sync with the beat, keeping the pick and hand right, keeping in time, and not making too many mistakes, not speeding up and not slowing down. Kind of feel as if you have to reel yourself in a little bit and just relax into it. Okay, so this is doing a lot of things all at once, although it may seem on the surface like a boring exercise. What I would say now is repeat the same thing, 2 notes, but this time do the whole sequence starting with an upstroke. Okay, and do the whole thing all the way. I'm not going to do it because it's just another video. I want to move on to the next section now, but go ahead and do that and be thorough. Okay, and relax into it. Okay, it's a bit like the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off, where he makes Daniel do all the wax on, wax off. He makes him do all these what may seem to be pointless exercises with repetition, 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 very slow and relaxed. Okay, he's making him do all of these things, and then however long later, he says wax on, wax off, and he's able to do all of these moves subconsciously, but with extreme accuracy and precision, and just like in the subconscious. And that's what the purpose of this is. Okay, you don't have to do it for a long time. You just have to do it thoroughly. Okay, for a couple of weeks, and you'll see the impact on it. Okay, so that's it for this video. And the next video, we're going to do the third part.